This is Boston at EdcGearShop.com. Today we're going to be looking at the MTECH Series 588 neck knife. Alright, this knife measures 4.25 inches in length when closed, when sheathed. The knife itself has a black stainless steel blade. You can see on the handle it has kind of a grenade looking finish. It really doesn't add very much texture. It seems like that would be its purpose. On the outer edges it does. It's pretty ridged on there, so that's good. But as far as the flats on it, it feels, you can't even feel anything. I mean, it just feels solid. So that's, if anything, that's just aesthetic. One thing you're obviously going to notice, this is a neck knife and it doesn't have a chain. Well, what happened with that, it had like a lanyard type thing that loops through here, so you can hang it on your neck. Obviously, it also has a clip if you want to hang it right set up like this on your belt. So as you're probably thinking, this is a neck knife, where's the chain? Well, obviously there was a chain on here at one point. I'll get to that in a second. They do have a clip on the back, so if you want to wear it right set up on your belt, then you can do that as well. And it's a very nice clip as well. I mean, it has there's a lot of tension in there. It's not going to go anywhere, especially with how little this weighs. So I was wearing it on my neck, testing it out initially. Obviously it had the chain looped through here. So I was wearing it. MTECH themselves call this a survival knife, and generally when I'm thinking of survival, I'm thinking, you know, you're fighting for your life in a wilderness type environment. But personally, I would see this more as a personal defense knife, you know, just as a civilian to use against maybe a rabid animal or a person attacking. That's just the way I see it, especially hanging down right here and being immediately accessible. So in practicing with this knife and in starting to carry it, I was, you know, drawing the knife from the scabbard, and I did this about probably 50 times, you know. And obviously, if I'm in a tactical situation, time is life. So I was, you know, drawing as quickly as possible. I was just, you know, just grabbing the grip, getting as much of a positive purchase on here as I can, and just yanking it out and being ready. Well, after, like I said, about the 50th time I did that, the chain broke, and I wouldn't really blame this on the chain, because it doesn't need to be a strong chain, because it just needs to support however much this weighs. MTECH doesn't tell us how much this weighs, but I would guess about 30 grams. It's very light. So I wouldn't blame it on the chain. I'd actually blame it on the friction between the knife and the scabbard. Like I said, it's extremely lightweight, but the way MTECH makes it, it takes a lot of exertion. You really have to pull that out. I mean, they could easily get by with 4 times less friction. So that is, it's pretty arduous. So I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't blame that on the chain. The chain does its job. It just holds it there, which is what it needs to do. But, you know, if you are in a survival situation and you're just trying to, you know, cut food or carve something or whatever, I mean, you could hold the scabbard, obviously, and pull it out, no problem. But like I said, in a time of life situation, I'm going to be yanking it out as quickly as possible to defend myself. As far as the knife itself, you can see here this loop. MTECH calls it a thumb loop, so I guess, you know, their idea is you would hold it like this, maybe to really dig into something, to cut it. I don't know. Personally, I think it's more of an index finger loop, because like I said, in a tactical situation, just intuitively, I'm going to put my index finger in this hole and hold it like this with the butt of the grip in the dead center of my hand, so I can have, you know, really positive jabbing motion. And I'm going to wrap my hand up like that with my index finger in here, and it's really more of a stabbing object. I mean, it's not a great cutting tool. The edges, they're stainless steel. It's a stainless steel blade, but I mean, they're not terribly sharp. They're not bad at all. I mean, you could cut a lot with it, but personally, like, I would way rather stab with it, and the tip could easily penetrate skin and then, you know, guide the knife the rest of the way in. So just intuitively, to me, this is, you know, index finger and a jabbing knife and a tactical knife. For that purpose, I think it would do really well. I think you could easily defend yourself with it, assuming the chain doesn't break. So that's something to consider. Overall, I do like this knife. For $10, I mean, it's a good knife. It's high quality. Like I said, not the greatest purchase on this, the hilt of the knife. It's not very long, and like I said, there's not very great texture on the flats. So pulling it out, especially if you have bigger hands, then it could be pretty tedious and challenging. So it's something to consider. But you know, once it's in use, once it's actually being utilized and employed, I quite like it as a knife. So MTECH Series 588 neck knife.